never, forgive, my parents for mistreating me and abusing me, because, something in me changed. Yeah. I mean, I'm not the same person anymore after their mistreatment, abuse, criticism, and, all of the bad stuff that they did with me. So, a part of me died, a part of me changed permanently. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So, today I'm going to talk about, the traits that make you the favorite scapegoat of narcissistic parents. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So you need to have, certain qualities, in order to be their favorite scapegoat, in order to be their golden child, in order to be their favorite invisible child. You need to have certain qualities. Yeah, and based on the qualities, they assign, specific roles. Yeah. So, I was, at one point, a golden child. But when I started asking questions, when I started resisting all the abuse, when I, started, standing up for myself, and I started, fighting against all that abuse and mistreatment, then I was scapegoated. Okay. And to tell you, I was not their favorite scapegoat. Yeah. Because I, was always there to fight. Yeah. I was always there to defy. I was always there to stand up for myself. Yeah. And that is something which causes them a lot of, different kinds of inconvenience. Yeah, when you stand up for yourself. Yeah. So when they started scapegoating me, or you can say when they took away the golden child title, because I started, doing things my way. I started questioning them, I started saying no, I started refusing. So they took away that golden child title. They stripped, that title off me, and then they awarded that title to my sister. And to tell you, she was the scapegoat earlier, and I was the golden child. Yeah. So now the entire role was reversed. I was treated as the scapegoat, but I was not the favorite scapegoat. Yeah. I mean, she used to be their favorite scapegoat, and there are reasons why she was, their favorite, scapegoat. I have seen there, there were other scapegoats also in the family, not necessarily, amongst the children, but their sibling. I mean, my narcissistic parents, siblings, other relatives, whom they used to scapegoat. And I could, see the difference. I could actually, sense and understand, the qualities they are looking out for in scapegoats. Yeah. Not all scapegoats are their favorite. Some of the scapegoats can be real pain in the ass for these narcissistic parents. Yeah. So my sister was a very convenient, very docile, uh, a very eligible scapegoat for them. But when they stripped me of that title, they tried scapegoating me, but still, it was not, giving them that pleasure and satisfaction. So in the end, they started, treating me like an invisible child. They tried scapegoating me. They tried, doing, various, sorts of numbers on me. But they were not getting that pleasure. Yeah, they were not getting that satisfaction. And then they, started treating me like an invisible child. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you what are the reasons. I mean, in this video, or through this video, I'm going to tell you what are the reasons that they look out for in their scapegoat. Yeah. I mean, if you're a truth teller, if you are someone who can put up a strong resistance, if you are someone who will keep questioning them, if you are someone, who will confront them in front of the others, they might stop, scapegoating you. Yeah. You might not be their favorite scapegoat. Yeah. So there are certain qualities that they look out for in their scapegoats. Yeah. Their favorite scapegoat. Yeah. The first quality that they look out for in their scapegoats is, their scapegoats, should be, 100% trauma bonded to them. So no matter how much, they abuse, the scapegoat endures, and the scapegoat keeps returning back to the narcissistic parent, keeps seeking connection and validation and approval from them. So this is something which I mean, this is one of the qualities that makes the scapegoat a favorite scapegoat of the narcissistic parent, that you keep looking out for connection, you keep looking out for their approval even though they are abusing you. Yeah. And to tell you honestly, in my case, when they used to abuse me, when they used to mistreat me, I never used to crawl back to them. I used to give them silent treatment. I used to talk about the mistreatment in front of the others. Yeah, I used to fight with them. I used to give them a difficult time, and that was something which was very painful for them. They want a scapegoat that is like a punch bag, like an emotional toilet where they can go and take a dump, and that's it. And then again you keep crawling back to them for their validation, love, affection, approval. Yeah, so they want a good trauma bonded scapegoat. Yeah, that makes you a favorite scapegoat of your narcissistic parent. Yeah, but if you're not trauma bonded, if you are outgrowing them, if you're not so emotionally invested in them, if you are emotionally distanced, and you don't buy all their BS, you might not be their favorite scapegoat. Yeah, so they look out for certain qualities. Yeah, whether it is the invisible child, whether it is the golden child, whether it is the scapegoat. The other trait that makes you the favorite scapegoat of your narcissistic parent is when the scapegoat is emotionally codependent on the narcissistic parent. Yeah, when the scapegoat relies on the narcissistic parent for validation, and it's very difficult for the scapegoat to break free from the cycle. Yeah, they go back to their narcissistic parent. Yeah, they look out for their validation, they look out for their response and feedback. Yeah, in my case, I stopped looking for their validation. In my case, I was not reaching out to them for anything. I mean, I was with them. I was not, independent. So I was just eating and surviving and, studying, and that's it. I was just, keeping my contact, to a bare minimum, just yes, no, and, standing up, and putting up a resistance whenever they were throwing abuse and mistreatment. I was questioning them. I was calling out their bad behavior. And this passed across the message that I was not emotionally codependent. Yeah, I mean, I was taking charge of my life. I was taking control of my life, and I was exercising my own autonomy. Yeah, I was not dependent on them, and they could see and they could understand that I mean, she is not someone whom we can control. Yeah, she's a lost case. I mean, we shouldn't waste our time and energy on her, rather than let's find some other sources of supply. Let's vent and dump all of our emotions and negative emotions and frustration onto some other scapegoat. Yeah, because I was asking question, I was annoying them, I was giving them silent treatment, I was just mirroring anything and everything that they were doing with me. Yeah, and that's how I had literally become a nightmare for my narcissistic parent. Yeah, so the second trait that makes you a favorite scapegoat of your narcissistic parent is when you are emotionally codependent. Then they know that they can do any shit with you, and you will come back to them, you'll crawl back to them. They might just throw some crumb, and then again you'll go back to them. Yeah, so they look out for these qualities. The other trait that makes you the favorite scapegoat of your narcissistic parent is when the scapegoats have low self-esteem. Yeah, when these scapegoats lack self-worth. And this is something which makes it very easier for these narcissistic parents to manipulate, blame, and control. Yeah, I mean, as it is, they stunt your growth from an early age, so you don't develop in a healthy manner, in a healthy way, the way how healthy individuals grow and develop. And as a result of which you suffer from low self-esteem, low self-worth issues. And because of that, you really don't stand up for yourself. Yeah. You're just dependent on them, in a lot of ways. You don't stand up for yourself, you don't put up a resistance. You are like okay with whatever they are doing. Yeah, because they never let your sense of self and sense of self-worth and self-esteem develop. Yeah, they kept on violating your boundaries, they never educated you, on all these healthy topics. And as a result of which, you're just dependent on them. Your entire identity is shaped and based on their approval and validation. That's it. Yeah, because they keep on invalidating and minimizing your authenticity. They keep on shaming you and minimizing you and criticizing you whenever you tried being your authentic self, or whenever you tried expressing yourself, your intention, what's in your heart, how you feel around things or about things. So they minimized it, they shamed you, they criticized you, and they handed over a version that they wanted you to be. Yeah, and they took away the version that you wanted to be. Yeah, so they hand over a version that they want out of you, and they take away the version that you truly desire and crave on the inside. Yeah, they don't entertain your authenticity. Your authenticity is a painful thing for them. Your authenticity is like a red flag for them. So if you are being authentic, if you are yourself, you're going to stand up for yourself. You're not going to play along, you're not going to take their bullshit for long. You might just outgrow and leave them. Yeah, you might just teach them a lesson, or you might just go no contact, and that's not what they want. So they cripple you from an early age, and it starts in the childhood. Yeah, so they will emotionally manipulate you, emotionally blackmail you. They will rewrite family history. They will project themselves as the victim. They are going to hurt you, abuse you, and then they are going to gaslight you and tell you, well, I was doing it for your greater good. I got influenced by someone, and that's the reason I treated you this way. But you should know that I love you on the inside. It's all for your greater good. One day you will realize all that, bullshit, word salad, that is thrown, by these narcissistic parents in the families. So, scapegoats with, low self esteem is an ideal candidate. Yeah, it's you can say the favorite scapegoat category for these narcissistic parents. Yeah, when you are suffering from low self-esteem, they can treat you like shit, and again they can summon you, and you are there to serve them. Yeah, because you don't have your own identity. Yeah, you were never allowed to develop one. You were never allowed to explore your own self. Yeah, so you are just dependent on their validation, their projection, their approval, their feedback. Yeah. On the inside, you're hollow. Yeah. On the inside, you're nothing. You are just, someone who's waiting for instruction. I need to be this way. So now let me shapeshift and become this to please the narcissistic parent. But let me give you a rub. Can you ever please a narcissistic parent? The answer is no. You might feel that you are able to please them, but you know you need to understand that all what they are doing is they are just putting up a show to extort more supply out of you. In reality, you can never please them or make them happy or alleviate them from their pain. Yeah, because everything is show, everything is fake. Yeah, whatever they are telling you, it's all misconstrued information. It's all fake. It's all lies. They withhold information. So you can never really make them happy. So now coming to the other trait that makes you the favorite scapegoat of narcissistic parent. The other trait is when the scapegoat is empathetic. So these scapegoats deep sensitivity and kindness are used against them. Yeah, making them an easy target for manipulation and guilt tripping. So if you are an empathetic soul, if you have lots of empathy on the inside, so that's really good thing for the narcissist. Yeah, because they are going to uh, mistreat you, and then they are going to loop you back in by telling you, oh, I'm suffering, you have forgotten what all I did for you, you have got no idea. And we being empathetic scapegoats, we keep going back to them. I mean, I wasn't that much, but I'm just telling um, for those who are empathetic individuals, and who keep forgiving the narcissistic parent. Okay, I mean, let me just forgive my narcissistic mother, let me just forgive my narcissistic father. He or she might have been brainwashed, or might have been influenced by this and this person and so person. So empathetic scapegoats have a habit of forgiving. Yeah, they are very forgiving, they have lots of empathy on the inside, they are very forgiving. But you need to understand, you can only forgive those who genuinely seek forgiveness. Yeah, and it's for all of you, I mean, empathetic souls that is out there, that just don't keep handing over forgiveness. Yeah, if a person is not genuinely seeking it, then don't forgive. Yeah, I mean, in life you really don't have to forgive anyone in order to move ahead. Yeah, I mean, because you need to understand, abuse and disrespect changes you. I don't forgive people. I never forgive my parents for mistreating me and abusing me, because something in me changed. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the same person anymore after their mistreatment, abuse, criticism, and all of the bad stuff that they did with me. So a part of me died, a part of me changed permanently. And in this world, I still feel scared. Out of nowhere, I still feel scared. I have you know bouts of anxiety. I have a lot of stress out of nowhere. I overthink. I'm scared sometimes, even though I'm in a safe space, I'm in a safe environment. I worry a lot about unnecessary things. And it's all because of these narcissists, yeah, that I came across or I was raised by. So I never forgive narcissistic individuals, and I would suggest you also not to forgive them. You can move on, you can go no contact, but you really don't have to forgive. I mean, all those cultural, religious, and societal notions and bullshit is there, that you have to forgive and become a bigger person. No, you don't have to. I never forgive those who disrespect me and insult me and minimize me and abuse me. I never forgive them. Yeah, because they literally you can say unalive a part of me. They literally take away a part of me every time they mistreat me. I lose a bit of myself. Yeah, and I am never the same after experiencing abuse. So you really don't need to forgive. Yeah, I mean, if someone tells you, just go no contact with that individual as well. Yeah, because they are most probably gaslighting you, so that you remain in that toxic cycle, you remain in that abuse cycle, in that abusive household, and that's it. Yeah, they are the enablers, they are the nascent narcissists who tell you that become a bigger person by forgiving. You don't have to. Yeah, I never forgive people, and I'm doing well. I'm happy. I'm doing well. I'm, having a good life. I'm having a good partner. I'm healthy now, and I'm in a safe space, and I'm doing good. Yeah. So I mean, forgiving and all that. Don't get into all that. Just move on. Go no contact. Use boundaries. But boundaries don't work, when you are dealing with narcissists. Now, coming to the other trait that makes you, the favorite scapegoat of narcissistic parent is, when you are a scapegoat with people pleasing tendencies. Yeah. So, parent pleasers actually become, people pleasers when they, grow up to be adult. So, these scapegoats, uh, strive to gain the narcissist's approval. Yeah, often sacrificing their own needs and boundaries in the process. And it's a habit, it's embedded in them, that I need to be a doormat, and that's how I'll get to please my narcissistic parent. And they keep repeating the same thing again and again. They don't question, they don't stand up for themselves, they don't put up a resistance. And such, scapegoats are, favorite scapegoats of narcissistic parents. Yeah, because you're not putting up any drama, you're not stopping them, you're not questioning them. Instead, you're again laying down, you're again crawling back to them, and your goal is to please them and make them happy. Yeah. And it's the narcissistic parent, who has conditioned you and brainwashed you into, becoming that version. Yeah, I mean, you don't automatically become a, parent pleaser and then later on graduate and become a people pleaser. Yeah, I mean, all of those wrong buttons, all of those, triggers are installed by these narcissistic parents. Yeah, yeah, I mean, for their own convenience. Yeah, they want a better grip over you, they want to control you, they want to extract things out of you, they want to harvest supply out of you. And how do they do that? By installing these buttons, and then that's it. They are able to harvest supply for the rest of their life. Yeah, they have a gala time, and you keep suffering, and those who are associated with you, or those who are related to you, or those who are involved with you, they keep suffering. Yeah, I mean, it's not just you. You do suffer, but you are not aware, or in some cases you are aware but you don't wish to address to it, you want to ignore it. But others also suffer because of you. And the last trait that makes you the favorite scapegoat of narcissistic parent is the vulnerable scapegoats. Yeah, so these vulnerable scapegoats lack, strong external support system, making them more dependent on the narcissistic parent and easier to isolate. So, I was at one point, very vulnerable. I was very dependent on them financially, emotionally, in all ways I was dependent on them. But, the moment, I started working, I started making money, they knew that, they can no longer control me or manipulate me. Yeah. And, I started building good support system outside, though they used to, tell me that, so and so friend is, bad and you shouldn't be friends with someone outside of your community. All those religious narcissism, spiritual narcissism, they were really malignant and toxic, and they used to gaslight me into not making friends, so that I mean, I'm all dependent on them, and then they can control me, manipulate me, and mold me into whatever version they want. So vulnerable scapegoats are a kind of a scapegoat that these narcissistic parents really like. Yeah. And they trim off your network, they trim off your friend circle, they trim off your support system, and all of it is basically to keep you dependent on them. Yeah, so that when they abuse you, you have got nowhere else to go, you have got nowhere else to go and process and find and talk about things. You just have to suffer in silence and again crawl back to them. Yeah, so these are some of the traits and qualities that makes the scapegoat favorite. I mean that makes you the favorite scapegoat of your narcissistic parents. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.